land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. You already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
You already know what time it is. Make sure to clock in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. We're going to have a great show, man. And Raiders, it's a really tough season, man. To say the least. But, you know, it is what it is. I guess we can put Aidan O'Connell is going to be the next franchise QB. We could put that to rest. You know what I mean? We could put that to rest. But
can we?
But man, I mean, it's 4 games left. You know, and I think he's gonna possibly play Monday Night Football next week against the Atlanta Falcons. So we got to keep an eye on that because at first we heard that he was gonna be out for the season. If y'all missed it, the game, Aidan O'Connell got hurt towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter, where it should have been roughing the passer. By the way, that should have been roughing the passer by the letter of the rule and how they ref that position. But you know what it is with the referees, man. They always be hating on the Raiders, man. But look, man, hey, man, if you haven't already, like I said, clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We got a lot to talk about. as usual, we're still here, man. We're still going to talk about the Raiders and everything that's going on around the NFL, all that good stuff. My guy Mark in the building says first like back to back. So I know he's doing the right thing, man. He's over here on Severe's channel. Hey, yeah, by the way, we are going live on both our channels. So my guy he already know what to do, man. Night crew.
Yes, sir.
Mark is definitely part of the night crew, man.
Man, definitely.
Howard in the building, man. Yes, we can. Coach is in the building. He says, you would think, but some delusional fans still think he's one. Yeah, I know, right? It is what it is, man. You can't really. They're gonna have their opinion at the end of the day, which I'm not even gonna get into it, but I'm just gonna leave it at this. It's gonna be an inside joke, but remember, Severe, when we went to that game, and there was some fans just heckling, and they were saying all types of crazy stuff, and we were just looking at them like, bro, like, what are y'all talking about? Those are the same fans, bro. It's the same fans.
Yes, the same ones.
Salute to Raider Night, man. Salute Raider Nation, man. Appreciate you coming through. Michael Smith, #1 overall pick. Thank you, God, man. Hey, man.
See what you did there. Michael Smith.
Yeah, shout out to Shedeur. Shout out to Shedeur for sure. But yeah, man. Hey, look, let's actually take a look at it real quick, man. The Raiders currently have the #1 overall pick. Season's still not over. It's still like 4 games left. So, and the way it's set up right now, oh man, if the Raiders somehow, some way try to win a game, you know what I mean? They mess around and win a game, it could drop them. So that's how close it is. It's a lot of bad teams right now going on in the NFL. If we could take a look at it real quick. Well, you can see the Raiders at 2-11. This is where we at right now. We're celebrating the #1 pick, but that's just, man, we got to find a positivity somehow, some way. But
yes,
the Raiders is 2-11. They're tied with the Giants. They got the tiebreaker. I'm sure it's probably something to do with like strength of schedule. Raiders got the #1 pick. But look at this, man. They're tied with the Giants 2-11. But look at 3-8. They're 3-10. Chicago's 4-9. So like if the Raiders mess around and win a couple games, and the reason why I say a couple is because they do have a couple of winnable games. You got the Jaguars. Their situation, their season's like, look, they're in the top 5. Look at them. They're not a good team. And then the Saints. I think we were talking earlier about how Derek Carr, I think, might be out for the season, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, you got the young QB there, but I don't know if that's going to make a difference. New Orleans season is pretty much over. I would say New Orleans might be a tougher matchup than Jacksonville because it's going to be on the road.
I agree.
They got a solid defense, but yeah, man, this is how it's looking right now, and you guys can see like how close it is. We've been talking about this. If the Raiders mess around and win a game, it literally could ruin their season. You know what I mean? Meaning that it would make it that much tougher to get a QB, which I don't want the Raiders to trade up and get a QB. I want them to just draft whoever they want at the position, at their current position, which they can easily do at #1. That's the beautiful thing. But yeah, man. Let's actually get into the game. Same old when it comes to the Raiders, man. They have lost 9 straight games. 9 straight games. Probably the worst team we've seen in a while. Raiders team in a while. I mean, and that's crazy to think because we've seen some bad football teams over the years. Yeah. But I think this might be one of the worst. I mean, obviously it's one of the worst, but like, I don't think it's. I'm trying to think what team is worse than this. What was last time? There's
Art Shell 2.0 for
Art
sure.
Shell, yeah.
Art Shell 2.0 was terrible.
Yeah.
The Dennis Allen Raiders trash.
Right. Yeah. Dennis Allen. I'm trying to think of the talent on the team too as well. Like,
Yeah, this team has more talent than those teams for sure.
Yeah, that
for
first
sure.
first year with Dennis Allen, that was nasty. Oh my God, because we didn't have any quarterbacks. We were hoping for Terrell Pryor to basically to be the next coming of Cam Newton, I guess. You know what I mean? A super athletic Cam Newton, but we already know what happened with Pryor. But yes, we've seen some bad football teams. Even Gruden's first year as a coach, he was like 4-12. But I mean, this team, like, arguably could be worse than that team when it's all said and done. Because they could possibly not go winless for the rest of the season. Even though we're saying, there's 2 winnable games, but ain't no winnable games when it comes to the Raiders.
I'm hoping they go win this the rest of the season. So, I mean,
exactly.
There's no point in winning at this point. If you still out here rooting for the Raiders to win games, look, I don't know. I'm not saying lose on purpose, but I'm not rooting for these dudes to win.
Man, shout out to Avocado Raider, man. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my guy. He says, but baby Kurt Warner, ain't that right, Severe? Hey, man, I think this is an inside, man, between y'all, man.
It is, man. It definitely is, man. AR knows what's up. He definitely knows what's up.
Man. But you know what, man? We appreciate the super chat. Man, we got people pulling up left and right. But yeah, man, let's just going back to the game. AOC, and we're obviously we're joking around with AOC, but hey, in reality, like, that's kind of been his whole career. He's played well at times. Like, he'll play good one time, and the next game, it's just there's no consistency with him. And some people could say that dates back to even his time in college too, as well. Like, he'll have a game where he's like, man, this guy could be a solid QB, and then have a game where he throws a lot of interceptions and I felt like he could have possibly had like 4 or 5 picks that game. The types of throws he was throwing, he was getting bailed out by, like, the defense dropping some picks. There was one where he was falling backwards and in the end zone, and we got bailed out with a pass interference. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at that, but it's just, it was a tough game for AOC, and eventually he ended up getting hurt, and it wasn't any better with Ritter in the game either way. But man, we'll get into like Aidan O'Connell and what that's going to look like in the future as well. But yeah, it was just like, man, it was a winnable game, and there was a chance for the Raiders. It was a winnable game, but at this point, man, if you're gonna lose the right way, and at this point, just to get that number 1 pick. So I really don't care at this point. It was competitive. It was competitive. It's what we wanted. Remember, I think before Friday when we do our game picks, we talked about, like, competitive football and watching, football, or I don't want to say good football, but just watching a good game. But #SS is, like, as you like to say.
Damn right. Damn right. Yeah, man, it was, it wasn't a winnable game. I appreciate the effort on defense. I think defense came to play. Trevon Merrick had a really good game. John Jenkins actually had a pretty good game too. Adam Butler had a good game. Kelvin Chasen had a good game. So it was good to see some guys shine defensively. Offense, it was a struggle, as always. Sincere was probably, like, the only standout. Sincere and Michael Mayer. I don't know if Tampa Bay took Brock Bowers out of the game or if we took Brock Bowers out of the game, but like, he didn't have his usual stellar performance. So that was disappointing, because that was one of the things I said I wanted to see was him, just go for a monster game. Like, that was one of the reasons for me, like, I wasn't going to tune in anyway because I had other things to do, but that was one of the things I said I wanted to see out of the game. And just watching the film, it just, there were opportunities there to get him the ball, and we didn't take advantage of it. And that was sad to see. I was happy to see Michael Mayer get off. I think he's going to be a valuable piece of this offense going forward, or possibly, in some people's opinion, a valuable trade piece. But it was good to see him kind of have a good game, especially after the season he's had early on, and some of the things he's gone through.
Nah, facts, because watching the game, there was moments where I'm like, oh man, it was nice to see Bowers get a catch, and then right after that we see Mayer get a catch. So I'm like, oh, okay, the Raiders, maybe this might be the game where we could see the two tight ends dominate, but after that we really didn't see too much of that. And it was crazy too, even the commentators watching the game, they're like, hey, look, just looking at the Bucks injuries, like their safeties were hurt, the starting linebackers was hurt. You know what I mean? And I felt like the Raiders weren't really attacking the middle of the field as much as you would like. But it is what it is, man. Raiders is just part of the Raiders struggling this season. But you know what? We gotta salute our guy, man. Raiders smoke in the building. Man, appreciate the super chase. Says, what's up with my guys? Not much to cheer about lately, but man, I'm hoping we stay at that number 1 spot and draft a QB. Side note, McCormick looking nice. Hey, facts, 100%, man. Hey, that's another thing too. McCormick is looking nice, but we still need to draft a running back. That's how I feel about it. It's the same.
Fact.
And that's how I felt to a lesser extent. Obviously, AOC kind of struggled this week, but that's what I was saying about AOC after that good game that he had against the Chiefs. Oh, AOC looks solid, but we still need to draft a QB. You know what I mean? It don't change nothing. And especially the running back room, we talk about how in today's NFL, it's everybody's going running back by committee, and you got fresh guys at that position to come in and play well. You know what I mean? So McCormick playing well is a good thing. So Amir Abdullah, he's a veteran on a 1-year deal. Is he going to come back next year? Probably not. New OC coming in, new offense. They might go their separate ways. Zamir White, is he going to even make the team? I don't know what his situation is going to be like. You know what I mean? It's going to be a whole different, offensive system next year, and that running back room is going to need to be revamped along with the QB position, QB room too as well. So I think with this running back heavy draft coming up, man, I'm hoping. I keep saying it every show. I keep saying I'm hoping we get a game changer at running back, man. It's going to be tough because depending on how the Raiders finish the season, they might need to mortgage some of those picks in order to get to a spot to get a QB. So that might affect some things. But there's so many running backs, we might be able to get one after the third or, somewhere in the 4th or 5th round. But, man, if I've been saying this, if the best player available is in the 2nd or even 3rd round and it's a running back, Raiders got to take it, man. No hesitation. You got to make that move, man. Got to make that move, in my opinion. But, that's just me. But, yeah, man, hey, Smoke, man, appreciate the super chat, my guy. Always coming through. SoCal Sal in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Chiefs. Come on, man. The Chiefs. We got some Chiefs fan in here, man. What are y'all doing in here, man? Leave us alone, man. Leave us alone. Yeah. And y'all got bailed out again. I don't know what, I don't know who, I don't know how, but for some reason y'all keep winning these games on some weird like this it's not gonna last. We all know that's not gonna last. Y'all, because it's not the team that's the hottest team in the regular season. It's usually the hottest team going into the playoffs. So just to let y'all know, man. It's hopefully some team, messes up their fortune, when they get to the playoffs. But that's just me being a Raider fan and hating. Raider P has a question. He says, Pharaoh Severe, how would you feel about taking Travis Hunter and trading our next 2 picks to move back into the first for our QB? Hey, I'm not mad at it, man. Because at least, you know what that tells me? At least I feel like the Raiders are actually evaluating the draft and they're trying to take, in their opinion, the best player available, but at the same time also understanding they need a quarterback and they're gonna get it on their terms. Now, I just hope it's not a situation where they predetermine and be like, we need to get a QB, and they don't really, evaluate the draft. I'm sure they're gonna do that, but it's just, hopefully they don't force it. I just hope they don't do something weird, like they don't really evaluate. Like this is Raider PTSD. Be honest, it's Raiders PTSD. Jamarcus Russell and how that whole situation happened. This is years ago, but that's where it's looking. The Raiders are going to have a number 1 pick, and it's going to be the first number 1 pick since when? 2007 when the Raiders drafted. And there's still a few games left for it to be official, but it's a good possibility the Raiders will finish with the number 1 pick, and if they do, that's the last time they've had the number 1 pick was when they picked Jamarcus Russell. So hopefully they do their due diligence, and they had, man, because Severe, we were, and that's another thing too, because I know you're like, hey, we need to get a QB. We need to get a QB at all costs. But we probably could have said the same thing about that team back in 2007 where we didn't have a quarterback. You know what I mean? And at the time, I'm with you too. I was like, man, Calvin Johnson. I've never seen a player like this, like 6'5", 4.3 speed, 40+ bench. Hopefully the Raiders could get him.
Yeah.
You don't think the Raiders should go after a guy, or not? Obviously, that I'm there. I don't know if there's a Calvin Johnson in the draft. Like that's one of one. But my point is, a best player available.
Exactly.
There might be someone else that might be a best player available.
So I think it's a completely different situation on multiple levels. First and foremost being that I had absolutely no faith in Jamarcus Russell. Like, he's a guy that a lot of people thought was going to be like a late first-round pick or second-round pick until he had that crazy game against Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl.
Right.
I actually had Drew Stanton rated higher than him. I actually, even though he ended up going later, I like Troy Smith better than I like Jamarcus Russell. Troy Smith was a guy, quarterback for Ohio State. He had won the Heisman that year. I liked him better than Jamarcus. A lot of reason he fails because he was under 6 feet tall. At that time, if you weren't 6 feet and you were a quarterback, that was like, that was a no-go. Like, we ain't messing with you. So, and then Calvin Johnson, he wasn't even known as Megatron yet. He was Calvin Johnson back then. He was just a freak, bro. It was no way in the world he wasn't going to be a good player. You just knew this guy's going to be a very good player. What did we think automatically he's going to be Hall of Fame? No, but he's a can't miss. He's 6'5", 230, or almost 6'6", 230. Ran a 4.3, jumped over 40 inches. Incredible hands. Like, produced incredibly for Georgia Tech, with a team that had no quarterback. Like, you knew this dude was going to be a monster in the league. And then a lot of people wanted Adrian Peterson. He's another guy where it's just like, yo, bro, this dude with his physical build, his production, with what he did at Oklahoma, this guy's going to be good. So a lot of people wanted him, and then Jamarcus Russell was the guy that was kind of full of question marks, right? He had work ethic issues, he had accuracy issues, he had some leadership issues at LSU. So it was one of those situations where we took the riskiest player. Like, there were some safe guys there who had not only had high floors but had high ceilings, and we took the guy with the extremely low floor but a high ceiling.
Yeah, it's just like we're gonna, like, we're not there yet, but like we're gonna get to the point where we're looking at these big boards and we're gonna notice that, like, QB is not even close to being a top 10 player. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a lot of people's big boards, and meaning that, like, when I say big board, I mean like the best players. They start ranking all the best players coming out of college going into the draft, and a lot of people's big boards are probably not going to include a QB. You know what I mean? It sucks because that's the year that we are finishing with a top 5, top 3 pick. It's like, come on, man! Like, out of all years, man, last year was our man. That's why it hurts that Michael Penix, that whole and guess what? We play the Falcons, so I would say I want the Raiders to blow them out, but then at the same time, it's just going to hurt us even more. So
Exactly.
like, I really want the Falcons to lose, but it's just, I don't know. It's yeah. Go ahead.
Now, I'll say, what if Max Crosby knocks Kirk Cousins out the game early? I'm not wishing any harm on anybody. Like, what if Max Crosby knocks Kirk Cousins out the game, right? And then Michael Penix come in and just cook us. You know how mad I'd be.
Oh man,
You know how mad I would be.
Yeah.
But to your point, man, like, you know, the quarterbacks aren't rated as highly as they were last year, but I still think most people for what I've seen, most of their big boards, they have both Shedeur and Cam Ward as top 10 players. There are few people that don't have them both as top 10 players in this draft. You know? And some of it could be the value of the position, not necessarily talent, so you have to be careful of that. But no, I think both of those guys are pretty good prospects.
Yeah, man. Raiders Pete says Travis Hunter could be our next C. Woodson. Hey, man, he's talented, man. And
he is.
Even though Charles Woodson played, but it wasn't to the extent of Travis Hunter is actually legit receiver as well as DB. So it's like, but I think coming into the NFL, he's gonna have to choose a position. And if you're gonna pick him that high, what are you? You think he's gonna play both?
I think he can play both. I don't think he'll be. I think when it comes
one
to the
position,
league,
he got to focus. He got to focus on one position the most, though.
Of those positions is going to be corner, just because you can have plays where your number one receiver isn't on the field, right? You can just design packages around him being that guy. You know, going out there but generally your number one corner never leaves the field. So, you know, I think he has more value as, hey, you know what, he's going to be our number one corner. We're going to keep him on the field all the time at corner. And then we're going to have packages where he can play wide receiver. The only thing about Travis Hunter is that I don't have him as my number one corner, right? I have Will Johnson out of Michigan as my number one corner. Then he's like number two. He's number two, but there's a corner out of Notre Dame whose name I can't forget it. I forget his name right now, but they're like neck and neck for my number two corner right now. And then I may have Teteroa McMillan above him as my number one receiver, but you know, he's right there at number two. So he's top two in both those positions.
This would have been controversial, but we should have Travis Hunter as flag on the play for his situation with his girl. But that's a whole different different topic.
Yeah, I ain't touching that, bro. I'm not touching that.
Whew, man. Hey, man, athletes, bro. Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. But coach says, why does the NFL keep helping the Chiefs? Ain't nobody like them outside of KC. It's because of Patrick Mahomes. They got a quarterback. They got the best quarterback.
Yeah.
Their box office far as like, you know, Andy Reid, and that's like their selling point. Like they want them in the Super Bowl. He's the Brady now. He's their Brady. Like Brady is retired. He's gone now. They need someone else that they can prop up and promote the NFL and their brand. And you know, hey, look, you know, Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, but I feel you, man. I'm sick of it. But hey, you know what though? You know what the Raiders need to do? They need to get better. And they need to, and their mentality needs, like, we need to stop Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But it's gonna be tough, man. When you got that coach, hopefully Andy Reid just retire, man. Maybe some he just like, you know what? Let me go on my vacation or whatever. But I think at this point, like, Raiders need to focus on being a better team. That's all they could do. But Raider Smoke wants to remind y'all, man. Hey, man, my guy Smoke, man. Hey, this always dropping straight facts. He says, make sure to you guys get some 50-50 merch for the holidays and support Pharaoh and Severe. Get your lady a nice sweater for Xmas. That'll buy you some more golf time with the boys. Hey, there you go, man. Hey. Hey, the link is in the chat as well as in the description if you guys watching the replay. Yeah, man, definitely check out the 50-50 shop, man, and get your latest gear, man, Raiders gear, all that good stuff, man. It's a great way to support, but also, you know, keep yourself warm. You know, we got some hoodies, all that good stuff, and more stuff to come too as well. So just be on the lookout for that. Yeah,
we got to grab some. We got to get some golf merch just for Smoke.
Oh yeah,
get some golf stuff on there.
Yeah, just for sure. Smoke. For sure, man. We gonna have to get some, man. We gonna have to give you like we're gonna figure something out, man. We gonna figure something out, man. But yeah, man. You know, Severe's still working on his Charles Barkley swing. You know what I mean? So We're gonna have to. Nah, I'm just playing. I suck at golf, man. I right now I gotta get. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time for me to get on that golf course, but yeah. Now, Telesco won't get off the board. Fill another 3 solid picks and 2 solid free agents in Telesco recipe. Yeah, but Raider Pete, you know what's that has me thinking a little bit more now. The fact that Tom Brady's in the building. Tom Brady being in the building kind of changes things a little bit. Like, it's not just going to be Telesco Telesco was the guy making picks last year, but is he going to be just the guy making picks this year? I think there's going to be someone in the building that's going to have a lot more say, that's going to influence a little bit of his decision making. And he's going to have to, whether he admits it or not, or whether the Raiders admit it or not, like, hey, if Tom Brady says we need to get this guy, Mark Davis is going to co-sign, and Mark Davis owns at least 40% of the Raiders, and he signs the checks, and he'll fire you if you don't follow. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest. Shedeur will be nice on the Raiders. Yeah, he would. He'd be solid for sure.
Yeah.
Prayers for Randy Moss. Hey, what's going on with Moss, man? What's up with Randy Moss?
I don't know, man. I know he stepped away from like broadcasting and stuff for some health issues. Randy Moss was at one point my favorite wide receiver. There's no love lost between Raider Nation and Randy Moss, but we got at this time, a man's health is at stake. So it's nothing but the best for him and his family.
Yeah, no, facts. Salute to Leo, my guy, man. If you haven't already, man, go ahead, make sure to go over to his channel, man, and subscribe to my guy. We got guys doing big things, making moves, man. And I obviously cop his merch, man. The dude's, man, he got some dope merch too as well, man. So definitely cop some merch from Leo.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, man. Hey, hit that like button for sure. Yeah, clock in. It's like we like to say on the channel, man. Clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. But yeah, look, like I said, man, we really not gonna get too much into the game. Too much. Be honest with you, like it's come on, man. 9 straight losses.
Yeah.
At this point, we're not gonna really overthink this one. It's just Raiders lose. Just not. They found a way to lose. The defense made some plays to keep them in the game. AOC wasn't the Chiefs. Right back. Yeah, he wasn't the same AOC. Yeah, the offense gave it right back. Literally.
Like literally. Yeah. There was, after the Kelvin Chase and interception, Kano comes right out and fumbles.
That's another thing too. We I think we got to double down on this, man. Chase Young needs to be signed. We got to sign this dude. This dude, bro. And I think teams are going to be noticing too as well. Like because he's still young, so he could probably get a solid contract if someone wants to take a little gamble. But I think the Raiders could probably get him on a cheap, bring him back for another year. If he's able to put another year of production, he probably could get a good contract. Especially pass rushers, they get paid. So.
Yeah, I think he's like 20. I think he's like 20. I think he's like 25. I think he's younger than Aidan O'Connell. He's like 25 years old, man. Man, definitely. And that interception that was a crazy athletic play, bro. Especially for somebody with his measurables. Like that was a crazy play to tip the ball. I didn't jump back and had the hands to catch it like that. That was a super athletic play, man. And then unfortunately, get the ball right back as Aidan went out there and fumbled. It was a frustrating game to watch, man. Frustrating game to watch.
I'm gonna pass this to you, man. I have a reaction to it, but I'm gonna let Severe do this one, man. He says, "Evening." Kevin says, "Would you trade the first pick and next year's first for Penix?"
Hell no, man. Hell no. I'm not at this point.
Hell no.
Hell no, man. Like, I'm taking a quarterback that's there. I'm taking Cam or I'm taking Shedeur. I personally have Penix rated higher than both of them, but not so much to where I'm trading this year's first and next year's first for him. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it either, man. Because at this point, Penix is 26, 25, 26?
No, he's 20. He's 24. He's 24.
He's 24, but he's about to be 25. You know what I mean?
25, yeah, but he would be 25 next year.
And like, hey, look, like, come on, man. Like, I just feel like that's not good business, man. Because you're not. It's not like Penix. Well, you know what? That's actually a good question, Kevin. I appreciate the question, because just think about it this way: if you just rewind, right? If we just let's just rewind real quick, man. Let's just go all the way back into April, and it's the 2024 NFL draft, and the Raiders have the 13th pick, and number one pick, the Bears drafted Caleb Johnson. And then the Raiders are hearing some rumblings that the Falcons might trade, so they might end up getting a QB. Let's say they had a little bit of foresight. They had some clues to make them believe that Penix would get drafted early. Would you be aggressive and trade up to get Penix?
You would in that situation, but that's because you don't know where you're going to be picking next year. So that pick can fall anywhere. Right now, you're first overall.
Right.
So being that first overall, that's extremely valuable. So like that's why the situation is different. Like it's not a situation. It's a known commodity what your pick is. That your pick is the number one overall pick.
Hey man, you know what? Hey, that's a great question, because now like think about it too. All right, because I know what you're gonna say if I ask you this. Who would you rather take, Cam Ward, Penix?
Penix.
Who would you rather take, Shedeur or Penix?
Penix.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it makes you think, bro. It makes you think.
But if you're asking me, but it'd be like this though. Would I rather have Brock Bowers and Cam Ward or Michael Penix and Johnny Schlesinger? Like I'm taking Bowers and Cam.
Nah, for real, man.
Hey, by the way, y'all, we got a mic draft.
Fanboy Podcast says, I hope my Raiders can draft Cam Ward. It's a possibility. But I think if anything, man, I just feel like all signs point to Shedeur. If it's Shedeur, Cam, like are the Raiders, like the Raiders are making it obvious. Deion and the Sanders family, they're Shedeur, they're making it obvious. Like Shedeur is driving by the stadium and like saying legendary and putting it on his story, knowing that like the Raiders are one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they have a big need at quarterback, and they're gonna have most likely a top 3 pick, and he's saying legendary. Like come on, bro.
I don't know how true this was, but like somebody's like he was on a boat out in Miami and he put like legendary, and it's like, oh, he's going to the Dolphins now.
Yeah. Garrett says, a salute to my guy Austin, the Wanderer, man. Appreciate you coming through, my guy.
My guy. Austin Alias into the building.
Hey, tackle this one real quick. Garrett Mitchell has a message for you.
Nah, man. You don't. You do not trade Crosby unless he asks for a trade. That's the only way I'm trading Crosby. Unless he asks. That's essentially the only way I'm doing it. And I know a lot of people want us to somehow get both Shedeur and Travis, and the only way you do that is if you trade Crosby in the deal. But I'm not doing that. Like he is the cornerstone of our defense. He's the most valuable player on that defense. He sets the tempo and the tone for this team as a whole. And no, he's just too valuable of a player to give up. Like, so unless he asks out, you keep him.
Yeah, man. I understand the logic, but Crosby he has too much impact on this football team. He's just not a talented player. Like if he was one of those diva players, like let's say it was a diva receiver who he was not a leader in the locker room, but was super talented, then we could justify maybe trading him and getting some draft picks because we're rebuilding. But Crosby means a lot to that locker room, as well as the fan base, as well as him being a great player. It's like, man, like it doesn't even make sense to trade him, and he wants to stay. Like what?
Exactly.
Like he wants to be a great player, wants to be here, and you want to trade him away? What type of what business are you in to do that? Like that's crazy.
Exactly.
Raiders Pete says, think of it. Chase on Kuntz bagged, Snowden refined, another big time D tackle to accompany healthy Wilkins and all the picks from trading Max. You know what? That makes me think, man. Are there any free agent D tackles? Not to say that the Raiders are going to be aggressive and get a D tackle, but be interesting if they grab maybe some of the guys because they got over $100 million in cap space. I know some of that's probably going to go into resigning some players, but it's kind of. It's I don't know, man. It's there's still a little bit of like mystery though, because which players are the Raiders are really going to bring back? Because on one, if Pierce comes back, then you can probably start connecting the dots with like guys like Kuntz and Chase Young and all those guys, right? But then if the coaching staff gets fired, then it's like, does Kuntz even come back? You know what I mean? Because that's a whole different coaching staff. Like they don't know him. Yeah. And he's coming off a big time injury, so it's like, does that coaching staff that's incoming want to take that risk and bring him in? Who makes that decision? Does Telesco bring him in and that new coaching staff to pick him up? Or I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting when it comes to the Raiders re-signing players because they got a few. Yeah. It's not just a couple. Like it's you got the Nate Hobbs of the world. You got obviously safety Trayvon Morrig is a free agent. There's a few players that need to get re-signed. So obviously we say Kuntz and then we like Chase Young, but he's also going to be a free agent as well too. Adam Butler is Adam Butler, I believe. He's a player that who's pretty solid. A lot of everybody's giving him a lot of praise this year. Smoke says, I'm for AP staying another year with his OC and QB. What are his chances he stays percentage-wise?
What you got, Pharaoh?
I think it's like 40% that he stays. 40%.
Yeah, I got it. Actually, I got it opposite. I got it at 60. I think it's more likely that he stays than not.
Okay.
But 40% of him leaving, that's still a very, very strong possibility.
Right,
still a very strong possibility. So
right.
I would not be surprised at all if he gets fired. But I think right now, not having that vote of confidence, I think, the Raiders are leaving their options open. But I can see him coming back.
There was like a report, which is like, take it for what it is, but they were saying that like the Raiders are not going to fire AP during the season, and they're going to obviously wait until the after season to evaluate AP before making a decision. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That tells me right there that they're looking to replace him. Because common sense would tell you that, we've been saying so many different times that like, hey, you got to give a coach more than 1 year. Like, there's no way, like, you can't just this. You got to give him more time. But the fact that we're gonna evaluate after 1 year, that's the messaging. Like,
yeah,
you should evaluate it back when he became before he was when he was a head coach as an interim coach.
Yeah.
That's the type of conversation that should be happening. That you're having that conversation after his first year, that tells me that they're looking to replace him. So that's why I say it's 40% chance that he comes back. Even though I think that they should get more than 1 year, but I don't know.
I mean, I think part of it is they want to see who else they can get. If they can get a high profile name to come, if they can get like Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick, then I can see that. But Ben Johnson and Bobby Slowick ain't coming here, so like they're not having it.
Yeah, man, you're right about that, man. Because it's like they're gonna have their choice of the litter, man. They're gonna be looking at every coaching vacancy, and they're gonna and there's a possibility that he stays because he's done that before. Like he will wait. He's patient. He's not gonna take any job, which I respect, but it's also risky on his part because if, like, let's say that for whatever reason his offense struggles, they deal with injuries or the Lions struggle, then that a lot of that buzz for him to become head coach lose a lot of steam. You know what I mean? It's a year-to-year league at the end of the day. So, but the Lion, man, he's super confident. He's betting on himself. So we'll see. I called it out. I said, hey, look, and I think I don't know if someone said it in the chat, but if for whatever reason I can see this possibly happen too, if Zach Taylor gets fired for the Bengals, just be on the lookout, man. I think easy. Ben Johnson's gonna hop on that fast. No matter if the Lions win the Super Bowl, he's like, I'm gonna come back until the job is finished. Like he ain't. Once he sees Joe Burrow is available to coach, man, that's every coaching candidate is gonna want to go to the Bengals just because of Joe Burrow, because he's literally a top 5 QB. So
yeah, fact.
But Jason Taylor says, what about Raiders trading for Aaron Rodgers?
Nah, I'm good on that.
Jason Taylor, I think he's trolling.
He got to be trolling, bro.
Come on,
Aaron Rodgers can destroy 2 teams.
Come on, man.
And he's trash now, so it's like, bro.
We just gonna have to give you the wrong answer, wrong question, wrong everything. Man. Come on, man. And you know it's gonna be interesting too. This might even make, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just like making this prediction. But there's gonna be a documentary coming out on Aaron Rodgers on Netflix, and it's gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers off the field and how he's a completely different person and him on the field and stuff like that. That documentary could tell a lot about who Aaron Rodgers is, and it could possibly make teams be like, you know what, Aaron, it's cool, man. Man, you know what, we'll be drafting a QB.
Exactly, no fact. Do you remember? Might make the Jets do that. The Jets might be like, "Yeah, but we drafting the QB." Sorry, brother.
Right, man. But hey, let's move it along, man. Hey, man, it's that time, man. It's flag on the play.
Offense. He was giving them the business.
So if we want to give the intro to this first flag on the play, Severe, let the people know.
Yeah, anybody who saw the game, they saw the play where, Aidan O'Connell got pushed in the back. The defender took at least 2 steps. The ball had already been released by Aidan. He got pushed in the back. And unfortunately, he was subsequently injured on the play. Ironically, the flag on the play involves a play where there should have been a flag on the play, and there wasn't.
Right. So here's
and O'Connell looking like he got diarrhea on that car.
What's crazy though, the whole talk after the game was like he's out for the season, his season's over, yada yada yada, and then the next day we find out that it was a bone bruise, and he's there's a chance that he could come back next week and play, meaning the Falcons game, and like you can see him carted off on the field, and it's like it makes you think like, hey, were they trying to lose this game, or was they trying to, you know what I mean? That's a whole different conversation. But because Ritter, I'll be honest, AOC is a way better option than Nesbitt Ritter. Like Ritter's not going to do anything for you, especially at this point, like coming in late in the season, and he's just not going to be that guy for this team. But or as far as winning the game, but it's kind of interesting though, because like when you hear AOC talk about like his injury. He said that he didn't get any type of messaging that it was worse. It was going to be a situation where he was going to miss a lot of time. So it's kind of interesting. Like, damn, like we heard all those reports about him being out for the season, and then him getting carted off the field, and he might as well put his thumb up, like, "Hey, man, I'm good," like pretty much. But yeah, definitely flag on a play. This is easy roughing the passer for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
I mean, I think I'm talking to you offline. Like, so in live action, it doesn't look as bad. It still looks late, but it doesn't look as bad. But me personally, I wouldn't want that call made on any quarterback. I wouldn't want that to be roughing on any quarterback. Like, you're running outside the pocket, you know, like I should be able to hit you. But the problem is that 99 times out of 100, they're going to call roughing on that play. Even though I don't think it's roughing. I think I should be able to hit you. If you're out there running, I should be able to hit you. They're going to call on everybody else, but they didn't call it for us. I think that's BS.
Right. No, I hear you, but the letter of law, man, hey, they call that all the time. And the fact that like they didn't call it there was kind of suspect, but like I say, you already know what it is, man. The Raiders in the league, man, we've had a really troubled past when it comes to like calling the plays when they're supposed to be calling it. But it is what it is. But definitely flag on a play on the refs. Flag on a play on the refs for not calling roughing the passer. But also flag on a play the fact that like they carted him off the field. They made it seem like it was like they made it seem like it was like career-ending injury. Like and it was just a bruise. Like come on, that's like that's like Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce, man, that's what I said. He had that diarrhea face. He's being carted up, bro. He had that diarrhea. But if he would have been out for the year after that, bro, I would have lost all respect for Aidan O'Connell, man. I could never respect you again as a football player. If this took you out for the year, bro, I can never look at you the same again, ever.
Yeah. Well, like if you notice though, like before this play right here, he did get hurt, and it was basically the first QB scramble that's on like official QB scramble that Aidan O'Connell's ever had in his career, I think, where he got a first down.
Oh yeah.
But then he got tackled and he felt awkwardly. He like landed on his knee. It was hella weird. Like it was like it looked like it hurt. Like when he fell, like when they tackled him, and then this probably made the injury worse. But you know, it is.
Everybody, look at the chat. Know I'm talking about that. He making a diarrhea face. It's clearly he ate something bad, and they're like, bro, we gotta get you to the bathroom.
Man, hey, but we not there yet. We got another flag on the play, and this one is about the Eagles and their issues in their locker room, and Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Brandon Graham, and this clip right here is Brandon Graham kind of like getting a little bit too much details of the locker room. And it's funny because you're the one who you sent me this clip, and I'm like asking you like, hey, did they talk about this like in public? Like why is he talking about this? Like it's interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip, and y'all can tell me what y'all think, man. Let me go ahead and play this clip here.
The person that's complaining need to be accountable. And I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he know this. I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he respond to things. They was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business, and that's what we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? But we need to let personal stuff go and let's get right for this game, because man, it's like a lot of stuff. Most of the time, it's just a conversation that just need to be had. But the person with the problem gotta want to talk to the person other than others. Okay. That's all I'm saying. The person that's complaining need to.
So this definitely flag on a play on Brandon Graham just for letting this out, just because like this wasn't something that was already out there. Like, so he's kind of letting the media in and letting them know how like serious the issues with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown are. But it's funny though, because he's like, you can't let the business get in between the personal, but if you think about it, this is on his show, because it said the Brandon Graham Show. If you notice this on the top, it said on the clip, it says the Brandon Graham Show, and he's letting out what everything is going on in the locker room. So he's kind of letting the business dictate, something that if he wasn't doing the show, he probably wouldn't have said. So It's a big. I'm sure like he has his own show, so then he wants people to watch it. So I'm sure he wants to like give them a little bit more insight, which I respect. Players have a lot of insight. They play the game. They're around they're around so much stuff that happens around the league and the game and yada yada yada. But he's still playing on that team, so it's a very slippery slope when you start talking about details of the quarterback and the receiver, especially A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. And A.J. Brown, like I said earlier for the show, I was like, A.J. Brown got to be top 3 diva receiver in the NFL. I mean, who if you had your top 3 diva receivers right now, if you had to rank them, or just in any order, just who would it be? Top of the dome.
Stephon Diggs.
Okay, that's one.
Oh, diva. I mean, he's not in the league, but Mike Thomas, Michael Thomas. Technically, he's not on the team though. So I gotta take him.
He's not retired, so I guess yeah.
He's not retired. He's not retired.
But he's not even the same player though. It's just like, come on, bro. Like, is it this? I mean, yeah, but I guess yeah. Right.
I want Devontae. Devontae. It's Stephon Diggs, Devontae, A.J. Brown. I think those are the 3.
And Devontae, and I'm gonna put this out there, and we'll get back to. I want to hear your thoughts on the clip. Devontae is honorable mention too, flag on the play, but it's just he's so easy every week we could put him on there, but he's over here still talking about if I had to do it over again, I still would be traded to the Jets. Like, bro,
you don't know what I was going through, but I was gonna make that flag on the play, but I don't even want to talk about that bum no more. He's over there losing, looking like trash, So we got a 3rd round pick out of it. I'm happy. We got a 3rd round pick out of it, and we got some cap savings. I'm cool, so I'm all good with that.
Yeah, no, facts. But yeah, man. So what were your thoughts on the clip, man? On this Brandon Graham clip talking about his teammates.
Yeah, man. As you said, I mean, the preface. So if people don't know what happened, the Eagles, and this is why A.J. Brown is a diva in this situation, right? He put a Devontae where I was about to say the Raiders won, but that didn't happen. But
right.
The Eagles won the game. But I think Jalen Hurts only threw for like 100-something yards in that game, right? And then they asked A.J. Brown after the game, where does the team need to improve or something like that? And he said passing, which is kind of like you taking a shot at Jalen Hurts. So people kind of assumed that is there people were asking, is there a rift between him and Jalen Hurts because he seems like he took a shot at him after the game, and then it's Brandon Graham kind of addressing that question. But it's one of those things, man. You kind of leave that in the locker room, right? A.J. Brown, he's mad. He's not getting his numbers. A.J. Brown has also been hurt a lot this year too, so that's part of the reason why he's not getting his numbers. But the passing game hasn't been what it should be. But that's stuff you handle behind closed doors in the locker room, in team meetings, or you handle one-on-one. You don't put that stuff out for the media, as media fodder for them to talk about. And as you said, it could have been a situation where, hey, you know what? Bring some attention to my podcast, right? They got this exclusive. I'm putting this out there, and everybody's gonna, hey, well, where did you hear that? At the Brandon Graham podcast. So it's driving traffic to his show, but at the end of the day, man, that's stuff that gets handled by men behind closed doors, not over the airwaves.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. Man, definitely flag on the play. We could talk about so many different flags on the play. Like I said, honorable mention Devontae Adams, but we're tired of talking about Devontae. But hey, man, salute to everybody pulling up. Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also, if y'all have any flag on a play videos, things that you would think that would be a great addition to the show, don't be afraid to hit us up on IG, X, social media. Let us know. We'll check it out, or even leave a comment just letting us know, hey, y'all should include this on the next show. This is definitely flag on a play, and we'll consider it, and we'll shout you out too. and put it on the show. But we appreciate everybody coming through. Let's get into the chat real quick, man. The chat is going crazy. Bill, I know. Why on earth would we would we trade Crosby? I know. I think he was trolling. He had to be trolling, man. That's just come on, man. There ain't Max to get. Come on. He's trolling. You got to be trolling. I can't even. Yeah. Austin the Wanderer, my guy, says, I think the Raiders should consider Travis at 1 and trade back into the late to grab Allar. Hey, you sound like, man, shout out to Ray. Ray. He this is what I'm sure and if he's watching, I know he's watching, this is his plan is to grab Allar. But I don't think they're gonna do it, man. I think Telesco is gonna there's too much pressure on Telesco to make that move. I respect it though. If Telesco doesn't take a QB with the first pick or first round pick and takes a Travis Hunter or whoever the best player available is, I would actually respect it just because I'm sure with all the pressure in that building, with I'm sure the owner, Mark Davis, Tom Brady, everybody in the building, and he does it his way, I respect that. I would respect it, but I'm not sure. I think they're going to draft QB first. Even though I like this, I kind of like this because now you still get a great player. You get a great player because we've done it in the past. And our best draft ever. Well, not ever. Let me rewind real quick. Our best draft in the last, I don't know how many years, was 2016. And we took the best player available. And it was a position of need, too, because we needed a pass rusher. We got a Khalil Mack, and we ended up getting Derek Carr in a second.
True, but that was also the quarterbacks in that class were super weak though. Like Blake Bortles,
and this draft is questionable too.
But these guys are way better than Blake Bortles.
He is disgusting.
Come on,
that's
Blake Bortles. Come on.
Oh
so it's like,
that's bad.
It's a different situation, man. And that class had Jadeveon Clowney, Khalil Mack. Like Travis Hunter is a great prospect, but our need for quarterback is extremely high, and these quarterbacks are way better than the quarterbacks were in that class, in my opinion. So I'm going quarterback, man. I'm going quarterback.
You said you're going quarterback? I don't know, man. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if we got a quarterback. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there because we're gonna have a whole lot of time to think about this and talk about this. It's literally our off season is happening during the season. That's the season's over for the Raiders, so we're gonna be talking about this left and right. Aaron is in a dark place. Facts. Yeah, I don't know. I think that documentary is gonna make him look bad. Or it's going to not make him look bad, but more it's going to scare teams.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like, this dude.
He's a weirdo.
Because he's in his 40s. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a Tom Brady. He's not like a Kobe Bryant. Like, I know Kobe played basketball, but or a Peyton Manning, like where they completely immerse themselves to the game. Like, Aaron Rodgers, as soon as the season's over, he's doing his own thing. He's doing what Howard is saying. He goes to his dark place and ayahuasca. Yeah,
ayahuasca.
So it is what it is, man. But yeah, definitely pass on Aaron Rodgers at this point. And especially if you get an Aaron Rodgers at this point, your old line has to be like spectacular. You're gonna have to invest. Like Raiders are gonna have to spend like I don't know how much. But wouldn't that be ironic though let's say if the Raiders did get Aaron Rodgers, wouldn't that be funny? If we got Aaron Rodgers and
Devontae's for the Jets.
And Devontae is still with
We
the
should
Jets.
do it just for that. We should do it just for that.
Oh man, that'd be funny, man.
Like, what if we brought in Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr to back him up? It's like,
As I see the hat, yeah, we're both Raider fans. Chance, we're both Raider fans. Would you rather Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward? I said Raiders end up with one of them. I like high upside, but I understand why the Raiders would go with Shedeur. It's probably like a safer option, probably better pocket passer at this point compared to Cam Ward. And then the Cam Ward, he's a little bit reckless with the football, a little bit, and there's going to be some growing pains. And Raiders, recent history, QB development, I'm not sure if that's their thing right now. I mean, I don't want to speak on that because if they get a great coaching staff, then everything goes out the window. But I'm just being a pessimist when it comes to that. So I can understand why the Raiders would want to go with Shedeur Sanders, a little safer option. But it's just the fact that I can't give you a 100% guarantee. Like, man, we need to draft this guy should tell you everything you need to know. It's like it's tomato. It really doesn't matter. I think the Raiders, because there's so many other better players that you can get at that spot. It makes you question the pick a little bit if you pick a QB at number one. And that's crazy that I'm saying this because I'm the guy during the offseason. I'm like, hey, we should trade for who's backup QB for the Lions. That should have been Hendon Hooker. We should trade up and get Michael Penix. We should find. I'm over here trying to figure out our quarterback position because I want to say improve because I know that if we go into the season with AOC and Minshew, our season's pretty much it's done for. Like our chances of being successful it decreases. We're not having a quarterback. But man, I just don't want. I'm just nervous about this top pick and the Raiders taking a QB, and it's just you just mentioned you compared, and not you, but we before the show we were talking about like how what this draft class reminds you of, and it wasn't you, but you were quoting somebody else about like how it reminds you of the 2015 draft class and how there's only like 2 quarterbacks that you would probably take, and then everybody else.
Yeah.
And then you compare it to 2015 and you start thinking like Jameis Winston and Mariota. Like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. That's tough. Bone bruise equals diarrhea theory. Oh, this is what you were talking about early.
Yeah. But to answer Chance's question, I'm taking Cam Ward. The stronger arm, bigger guy. Mm-hmm. He has a escapability. He has a flair for making a big play. And he's a guy that he can throw from multiple platforms, different arm angles. So he's the guy I'm taking. But Shedeur is the safer of the two.
Sure. Oh man, hey, we gotta get this dude out of here. Whew. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna have to. I don't usually do this, but you gotta go, brother. You gotta go. Yeah, Charger fans feeling themselves, even though they lost last weekend. But you coming in here acting reckless, then you got to go. you got to go. You make sure to clock in if you haven't already. Great minds. Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, like y'all, and we're gonna have Ray on soon, man. We're gonna get him on soon too, as well, man, because that would be a great conversation.
Right.
That's the psychological repercussions. Yeah, Daniel Kim. I was about to say ashwagandha. That's the way you spell it.
Ashwagandha.
He says
hilarious.
I said because ayahuasca. He spelled it ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. That sounds like some synthetic weed or something like that.
Yeah, but Daniel, he says could have have bad
Psychological repercussions.
Psychological repercussions from what I've read online. Oh wow, damn. That ends Aaron Rodgers' career is ashwagandha.
Exactly right. He taking the echinacea, it messed them all up.
Oh man, hey man. Fear Raider says there are a number of videos breaking Sanders' throws down by scouts, and they say he's best available QB at top of the draft. All Sanders' issues are mechanical and can be fixed. Okay, so you're a Sanders guy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean Sanders has physical limitations. Like he doesn't have a strong.
But do you see Sanders as like a top? Can he be a top 5 QB in the NFL? Do you see that happening? Like with his talent?
I don't think.
What's his ceiling? What's his ceiling? Like, is he a top 15? You know what I mean? Like, which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong, but like, damn, like you get to pick a QB at number 1. It's like,
yeah, I don't think he can. I don't think he can. I think somebody. I think Sean Johnson said it earlier, and honestly, I would kind of change it a little bit. I think his ceiling. I think he's like Geno Smith. And I think Geno Smith has a bigger arm than he has, right? But I think he's a guy that is not really a run around the yard type of guy, but he can be a point guard. He can and Geno Smith he's thrown for a lot of yards. I think at one point he might still be leading the league in yards right now or passing yards right now, but he's not a guy that's going to like make the big play or do that on a consistent basis or will you to a win. I think some of like people like to say Shedeur is CJ or he's Joe Burrow, but I don't think he throws with near the same type of anticipation that they throw with. I don't think he has the same kind of touch that they have. He does have good touch, but I don't think it's to the level of Joe Burrow or CJ Stroud. And I think both the guys actually have stronger arms than Shedeur, in my opinion. So, but I think Shedeur could be I think he'll be a good, solid quarterback. But he's going to be a guy that, is he going to be like a force multiplier where he makes everybody around him better? I don't think he has that kind of ability.
Rogers Peak says Lions rebuilt perfectly, and they did that by not focusing on a QB in the draft. They're winning with a washed QB.
What?
But he put it in quotations marks, so I'm sure he's just like probably what everybody thought when the Rams traded him to the Lions. Like they're like, Jared Goff, like he's a bust, number 1 pick, got traded. You know what I mean? He's not a guy that's gonna win it all. But they do have Jared Goff. That's why everything's working, is because Jared Goff is playing really good football.
Exactly.
He's playing his best football of his career. MVP candidate. You know what I mean? If you want to throw it in there. Lions are one of the best football teams in the NFL, if not the best football team in the NFL right now. And, Jared Goff is a part of that. So look, you made this point earlier, Severe, for the show. We were talking about Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is having a historic season. He's breaking all types of tight end rookie records, tight end records. The dude is making plays left and right. He's arguably the best tight end in the NFL. You can make that argument. You can make that argument that Brock Bowers right now is the best tight end in the NFL as a rookie, 21 years old.
He's the best receiving tight end for sure, without a question.
Right. And the Raiders are 2-10 or 2-11.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It don't matter unless you got the QB. Man, when you don't have a QB, when Raiders, if the team doesn't have a QB on the team, they do.
Yep.
But if it ain't a above average QB, it just, or at least average. We don't even have an average QB.
Exactly.
Because Minshew below average, AOC below average, Ritter below average, Last year, Jimmy G below average.
Yeah.
Even the year prior, like the way Derek Carr was playing, below average.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was one of his worst seasons that I've seen from Derek Carr this last year with the Raiders, especially when you think about all the talent that he had around him. And like you can speak to how, that was McDaniels and that whole situation, but still, he didn't play well. But yeah, man, the Raiders, they got to draft a QB. I mean, who's going to be available? Like if the Raiders had to pick up a QB in free agency, I got to actually look at that. Let me pull that up a little bit.
Derek Carr.
Nah.
Man. Derek Carr.
Like people co-signing it. They say exact lines built on key positions, not worrying about one single man. How many years have we been chasing this QB fantasy? What are you talking about? When have the Raiders drafted a QB in the first round or the second round?
Exactly.
We drafted AOC in the 5th round or 4th round.
Well, the highest we've drafted a quarterback since 2014 was the 3rd round in Connor Cook. So the last time we drafted the first round quarterback was 2007. And that was and before that, the last time we drafted a quarterback in the first round was Todd Marinovich in like the 90s. So we haven't focused on quarterback at all. Not in the draft. That's the one place we haven't tried. We tried every other way. That's the only way we haven't tried yet, right? So, it's been damn near 20 years. It's been since 2017, right? That's 17 years ago. It'll be 18 years come the draft, right? There are people that are grown ass adults now that have never seen the Raiders draft a first round quarterback. They weren't born when we did it, and they're going to be adults when we do it again. So it's time to make a change.
Right.
Time
the Raiders
to make a change,
man. And the thing is, this is what needs to happen, bro. The Raiders got to pick a QB in the draft, but the thing is too is that the Raiders' issues haven't been us chasing a quarterback. The Raiders' issues have been actually drafting well, which we just did the last draft. You know what I mean? Like, and if we're able to build off that yes, we understand how like the impact they can have on the football team. But man, when you don't have a QB, imagine the Lions without Jared Goff. Imagine the Lions with Minshew.
Or Aidan O'Connell.
Or you know what I mean? Or Jimmy G.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Well, I will say this. The 49ers, somehow, some way, they were able to that's how good they were, roster wise. They were able to win with despite of having Jimmy G at quarterback. Like literally, we seen what Jimmy G is. Nothing. Just nothing. Exactly. A whole bunch of just
that was
no arm, no nothing. I mean, the injuries took a toll. By the time the Raiders got him, I'll say that like injuries probably ruined his career at that point. But like, man, but real quick, man, let me put this on the screen. This is the 2025 NFL free agent list for quarterbacks, and let's see
probably putrid. Daniel Jones.
Let's see right here. Let's see. All right.
This is disgusting already. It's trash.
We got Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? We got Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Jacoby Brissett, Taylor Heineke. You see, like Marcus Mariota, Drew Lock, Jarrett Stidham. I know some people there might be some Jarrett Stidham fans.
There's gonna be some people in there. Justin Fields, trash.
Justin Fields, free agent. Joe Flacco.
I'll take Jameis for entertainment value.
But you're not gonna take him as like a backup QB. But I'm not gonna lie, man.
Backup QB.
I don't know what's wrong with Jameis, but he keeps throwing pick six. What's wrong with him? Like why does every time I'm watching a Jameis Winston game or highlight, he's always throwing a pick six? Does he have like the most pick six of all time? Like this dude, like
quite possibly.
I'm just saying, bro. Every time I watch a Jameis Winston game, he's always throwing a pick six.
Quite possibly, man.
Mac Jones.
Because Jameis Jameis Winston has such a good arm. That's the best. Oh, Josh Johnson still in the league. Josh Johnson is like 50 years old. Jameis has a crazy arm. He has very good arm. But he just makes some of the worst decisions you've ever seen any player make in your life. It is
Right.
the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So look, man. The Raiders, Sam Darnold, come on, bro. Like, Sam Darnold's going to get paid. Someone's going to pay him. And I hope it's not the Raiders, because I think Sam Darnold's probably coming off a really good season for him. But it might be the product of playing in a good system and a good play caller.
Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, Kevin O'Connell. And then you got Addison and Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. You're throwing to that does a lot for you.
Right. So the talent is going to drop a little bit with the Raiders. We do got Brock Bowers. We do got Jacoby Myers, but they're not Justin Jefferson and Addison, and also combined with a really talented tight end that they have too as well. So it's like, that's it.
Yeah, left tackle like Darisaw. You got a good offensive line up there. It's like
yeah. But let's move it along, man. Let's get back on track, man. Let's get to notable quotables. This is where we play some quotes that we find that are interesting that we want to talk about. Start this dialogue real quick. Just bear with me 1 second. I just seen this. Smoke said A-Rod smoking that Hashmuzada.
Hushmanzada. The Hushmanzada.
Hold on 1 second, man. Bear with me real quick. Daniel Kimdo has a comment for you. He says, here you go, if you want to go ahead and read it.
Yeah, the knock on Sanders and Ward is that they hold the ball too long and not throw on time or throw guys open. Can be learned, but have to unlearn bad habits. Yeah, I mean, that's even more so, especially holding the ball too long. That's an even bigger problem with Shedeur. People talk about all the hits he takes, and some of that is offensive line play because Colorado hasn't had the best offensive line. And I will give Shedeur that on one thing is that he's tough as nails. Like, he's taking a lot of hits, and he gets right back up. Gets right back to the huddle and gets back out there, and he's willing to take those same hits on the next play. So I'll give him that. But he does hold the ball too long. He also has played with an elite talent in Travis Hunter. Something that Cam Ward hasn't played, right? His best receiver is Xavier Restrepo, and he's probably a second or third round pick. He's small. He's like 5'10". He's a small receiver. He's not super talented. I think Dante really likes him though. Dante thinks it's the other way around. Dante thinks Restrepo is bailing Cam Ward out, but I don't think if Restrepo was playing with any other QB, he'd be putting up the numbers he's putting up.
Yep. So, getting back to notable quotables, man, here's the first clip. And, Richard Sherman had an interesting take on the AP situation, which I could see. I can kind of agree, but let's go ahead and play this clip real quick and let us know what you guys think, too, as well.
Can't hear anything. Did you send it up yet?
Hold on.
My guy Raider Smoke says Jameis will throw a pick six, but will throw 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Man, you damn right. Jameis Winston will give away points.
They set him up for failure.
All right, here goes the clip.
They set him up for failure. And if you fire him, it's such BS because you didn't give him a good enough team to do anything more than what they're doing. They had Devontae for a little while. They traded him away. You let Josh Jacobs go. And so you knew that this wasn't going to be an attractive job last offseason. So did you just give it to Antonio Pierce so that he could bite the bullet this season just to fire him until it was a more attractive position when you have a high draft pick? You set the man up for failure, expected him to fail, fired him for failing with no chance. And if they do that, I'd be so pissed off because that's total BS. They set him up for failure.
So that's Richard Sherman on his podcast talking about the AP situation, and obviously hear him say, set him up for failure, and his take on how the team wasn't really set up to be successful, meaning they don't have a quarterback. They didn't get a quarterback. They obviously had the wrong OC, offensive coordinator. O-line struggled. And some people could probably say like, oh, well, that's AP's fault to getting the offensive coordinator and that letting the offensive coordinator literally, kind of ruin the season, so to speak. But like not having a quarterback was the biggest issue. And if you don't have a quarterback, it's going to be tough to win in the NFL, in today's NFL. So, and on top of that, like he makes a good point too. It's like the Raiders were at pick number 13. And there are so many different teams that needed a QB. And they probably were thinking like, you know what, we want to get the best, guy for the head coaching position. But most likely we're not going to get that guy because we're not, positioned to get a quarterback to get their guy because we don't have a quarterback. So the position becomes a lot more attractive if you have a top 3 pick, which the Raiders are now set to have, which goes back to what I just said earlier. Where I'm like, I don't even see AP coming back because with, Tom Brady in the fold and, them already talking about, we need to evaluate AP after the year one. Even Richard Sherman kind of sees it. He said fired, but he kind of had to catch himself and correct himself, but he kind of sees exactly what's going on with AP, like in that whole situation. He could see it. And it's kind of messed up, but that's how the NFL, man. NFL can be ruthless at times, man. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man. I think AP was put in a tough situation. And I think us as Raider fans, we always go into seasons with rosy outlooks. And, remember before the year, we were predicted to win 6 games. And, I think even Tashawn Reed, we had him on. He said before the season, yeah, man, I had us at 5 or 6 wins, right? And that's a guy that covers the team, and he's one of the more honest, real reporters out there. And and when we saw these win totals, we're like, oh man, these teams are hating on us. They're hating, they're hating on the Raiders. But like it was easy. You got a rookie head coach, and you got 2 bad quarterbacks. So that's all you need to really look at. Mm-hmm. And that was how they came up with their prediction. So, I think this was a tough situation. I don't think too many head coaches would have won in this situation. Now, should AP have been better? Yes. He could have, and he should have been better. But, this is his first year full-time in the job. So I think there are some growing pains. He's still struggling with challenges. Like, he had a challenge this last game. I think he challenged on the Trey Tucker, but I don't even get started on Trey Tucker, but it was a Trey Tucker pass. It was like, bro, Trey Tucker was clearly out of bounds. Like, why are you challenging this nonsense? So
I wasn't mad at it, struggling. I wasn't mad at that. Because at that point, the Raiders are 2-11. He's like, you know what? Like, what's the worst that happened? Like, I'm gonna save my first half timeouts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It was a clear out of bounds. It was like, bro, at this point you're just wasting time, bro. Like, let's just get to the half, bro. Like, I ain't trying to sit here and watch this motherfucker not make the catch. Like, it's the same Trey Tucker, bro. You can't get your feet down to save your life, and your feet are small, bro. You should be able to get your feet in bounds, man. Not like your legs is that long, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Steve says AP was set up to fail. How can he be successful if he literally was given nothing offensively? He was hired because the defense was scoring and winning games, and that's not sustainable. Facts. 100%, man. Facts, man. I agree with that, man. And it isn't. And we could see it this season. Like, we thought the defense was going to be top 5, top 3, and they weren't. And a lot of that probably had to do with injuries and things like that. But, also, even when they were healthy, which was like the first game of the season, I believe, like, the Chargers.
We played with the run defense. We got gashed on some big runs, but for the most part, I think we held Justin Herbert to like 100-something passing yards.
Yeah, but usually the first couple of weeks, teams are trying to figure out each other out, right? So like, And if you just notice, like that first half, oh, the defense looked good. But that second half, they're like, oh, you can't stop the run. We're just going to – and it felt like every team that could run the football ran it at us. So – and that was a big issue, and it's still an issue. So, and that's something that's going to have to be corrected during the offseason. And most likely, it just seems like, look, I don't think AP is going to come back. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't think AP is coming back. So that means that we're going to get a whole new defensive coordinator. Yeah. I'm hoping this is my Hail Mary, and I think we talked about this last show. Like, if this possibly would happen, Raiders should instantly do it. If somehow, some way, the 49ers fire Kyle Shanahan.
Not happening.
Whew, man, that should be the number one. Ben Johnson, like, let's get Kyle Shanahan in the building, man. Let's do that right now.
Kyle Shanahan ain't never come in here. The Shanahans, they hate the Davis, man, and that's what got booted.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Mark is the master. Like, oh, that was my dad. You know what I mean? Like, bygone. Let's bygone.
That's why Greg Papa don't got a job no more. Because Mark was like, man, let me reach back out to the Shanahans. He's smart, bro. He's like, let me reach back out to the Shanahans. You know, kind of mend these fences. And Greg Papa was trying to hate. Oh, your dad wouldn't have. Bro, my dad is dead. He don't care. It don't matter what he thinks, right? He's in heaven. Right. Like, we gonna send the angel down and stuff like, bro, he can't do nothing about it. So it's like,
yeah, it was bad. But I look, y'all tough on AP. Y'all tough on AP.
That challenge was trash, bro.
It was just like,
take the shield, bro.
Yeah, shout out. But the thing is, though, the way I looked at it was like, the Raiders are 2-11. Who cares? Who cares? And it was in the first half. And how many times have we gone into the second half with like all of our timeouts? You know what I mean? Like, why are we going? It's not like we're gonna have six timeouts going into the second half.
You gotta. The first of all, I would say it's like 1 a.m. in Ohio, man. So clearly, my guy Chris is on demon time right now. Second of all, you gotta practice good habits, man. You can't be out here. These nonsense challenges, bro. Like, what's the point? I'd rather you just call a timeout. If you want to just, if you trying to just not go into the half with your timeouts, just call a timeout. Give dudes a rest. Call a timeout and let JPJ and Aidan practice snapping the ball some more, because clearly they didn't have that together.
Ray Smoke says, what got me with AP was the ending to the Chiefs game. His plan was to run. Yeah. That's a good point. That was a good point. That was a weird.
I think that was BS.
That was just weird. Yeah. Because we clocked it. And we're like, we're trying to run another play.
Exactly.
And it was just like, well, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Like, it's just.
That's why I think it was BS, bro. I think it was BS. I think he was trying to get closer, because Carlson had missed 3 field goals. All 3 field. First of all, we hadn't been to the red zone one time. So Aidan threw for all those damn yards. We didn't get into the red zone not one time. Carlson missed 3 field goals. All 3 of his field goals he missed were from 50 plus. That field goal would have been a 49-yarder. The plan was to try to get closer and, get out of bounds, get like 5-6 more yards on the play, and make the kick a little bit easier for Carlson. And then we muffed the snap. And then, that was the end of the game. So I think he wasn't going to say, I didn't trust Carlson from 49 yards, because you don't want to do that to your kicker who's won you some games. But the plan was to get closer to kick a field goal.
Joey says Sincere McCormick is a running back 1. I don't know if I want to do that, man. We called Zamir White a running back 1 last year, and look where we at right now. So let's just add more talent to that room and let the cream rise to the top. Like, it's nothing wrong with adding more talent to the running back room, because you know what, running backs can get hurt. It's good to have a lot of guys that look. Think about it. Even Atlanta, like they picked the running back top 10. And they're still having a running back by committee, so to speak. Like, they got, I'm forgetting his name, but it's
Bijan Robinson and Algier.
Yeah, exactly. So they got two-headed monster, and then you got Titans have a two-headed monster. There's a few teams.
The
For
Lions have a
years,
two-headed monster.
the Browns had Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. When they were at their best. I know like they're hurt, and I think Kareem Hunt is not the same running back he used to be. But I think that's where the league is going at the end of the day. And I think the Raiders, if Sincere McCormack can be the other running back, cool, that's perfect. But and another thing too, we're not saying that we don't want AP to come back. It's just we're reading. To me, I'll speak for myself. I'm reading the writing on the wall. I'm just saying, I think the team is going to move on, man. I think the team is going to move on. And that's why we played that clip, that notable quote by Rick Sherman, because why is he coming out and saying that? A former player, he's looking at that whole situation. He's like, man, don't tell me they're going to do it. He sees it. He sees it. That's why we wanted to play it. And it is what it is. I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like, AP ain't coming back, man. I'm gonna break it to you, man. AP ain't coming back. It is what it is. But we got one more notable quotable. We ain't done yet.
That was a terrible name, by the way. Here's a name. You need to change that name, brother.
Yeah, that's why I said Joey. Yeah, you see, I ain't call him.
You need to change that name, dog.
I just said Joey, man. Hey, miss. I'm not gonna say no names, but some of y'all have some suspect names on in the chat, man. We love y'all supporting the show.
They're trying to get you on cam. They trying to get you on cam saying some stuff.
Yeah, so I gotta read carefully. Like I gotta take my time. Man, I gotta be like, what did he say? Let me take my time and read this real quick. Like, oh, okay, all right. But we not done yet. We got another not flag on the play, but notable quotable. If you want to give the intro to this next clip, man, Joey, man, appreciate the comment, Joey, but damn,
JJ, all right, JJ, appreciate you, brother.
JJ, or Joey, that's it. We. But give the people the intro to this next notable quotable.
Yeah, man. So the quarterback we keep trying to replicate or duplicate with these free agent signings, Rich Gannon, he has some interesting comments post game regarding the Raiders' plan at QB and what they should do with Aidan O'Connell.
Okay, see what he says. Oh man, something's happening.
So my guy Chris said he said Sincere's not number RB1 for the Las Vegas Raiders. He could be RB1 for the Raiders that played my son in the Super Bowl on Sunday. the 6U Raiders.
Oh, here goes the clip. Oh man, what's going on?
I need to play it from what you call it? I got it on my phone if I need to play it that way. We got to go old school.
Hold on 1 second. I just had it up. By the way, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you haven't already, we're going live on both our channels. And here goes.
Well, I think the quarterback room is going to look a lot different next year. And my sense is that when they set out the chairs, he's going to have one. Now, my sense is he'll probably be the back. If it were me, I'd definitely have him on the roster next year. I think he'd be a great backup quarterback, and let him compete for the starting job. I mean, you probably draft a quarterback. Let them compete. Let them go at it. Let them figure out how this thing's going to work out. So, we're seeing a lot of young quarterbacks come into our game and play. You look at Jaden Daniels, the success that he's had in Washington. Caleb Williams has had some good moments and some bad moments. Bo Nix, in our own division, guys, has really played well, and he was the 12th overall pick in the draft. I just think I think what's most important for the Raiders moving forward, to finish out the season, we talked about this last week, with some momentum, some confidence as you head into the offseason, and then to really go out and do their due diligence and find their way back for this. Well,
man, I don't know, man. I got to see Rich Gannon come on Mike Lombardi again and hear the truth, because he's on the Raiders YouTube channel, so he
that was crazy. Crazy way to say.
I'm gonna be honest. I gotta keep real because when he was on Mike Lombardi's show, like he was out there, like AP. I don't think he's going to come back. This team is not a well-coached team, and yada da da da, this, that, and the third. But as soon as he get back to his 9 to 5 with the Raiders, which he currently still works for, he's like, oh well, Aidan O'Connell should come back and he should be the backup QB. I still believe in the guy, and this guy has some tools. You just got to be patient. And yada da da da. But I bet you he goes back to Mike Lombardi. Man, the Raiders quarterback situation is terrible.
Trash.
They need to draft a QB immediately. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I'm just speaking to, you got to always look at things with context at the end of the day. Like, you got to see, like when you hear some of these guys talk in certain platforms, they're not going to really tell you the whole full truth. And, shout out to the Raiders and what they do and their media and stuff like that. Which is great. We sometimes bring it up sometimes, and because we like to read between the lines, but I don't really read too much into like a lot of the talk that comes out of it because it's going to be too positive. It's too, just too. Oh yeah, the Raiders are gonna win the Super Bowl. We're 2-11. I'm like, what the hell? What are you talking about? That make no sense. I mean, what was your take, man, when you heard it? When you heard this clip?
My first take was that when he was talking about the Raiders' room was going to look drastically different, and that Aidan O'Connell should have a seat at the table, he's already saying like, yeah, you need to cut Minshew. Like that was my first take. He's like, yeah, get Minshew ass out of here.
Right.
And then, I think Rich Gannon, and I think he likes those studious type guys, right? Aidan O'Connell's real studious. He's not a guy that's going to be out there ruffling feathers, and he likes those kind of guys, so I can see him taking a liking to Aidan O'Connell, but Aidan O'Connell clearly ain't the answer, man. We thought some people, not me, but some people thought after that Chiefs game, hey, he's a guy, but then nah, man, Aidan O'Connell ain't it. Aidan O'Connell is not it.
Oh man, nah, he's not. But I don't mind him bringing him back. Like he's on a rookie deal still, fourth round pick last year. So it's like, but Rich Gannon, man, sometimes I gotta look at him a little bit like, oh man, like I wonder if he was on a different platform, would he be saying the same thing? Because he changes up his tune, man. I'm telling you.
But we already saw what he was like.
We seen it, man. When he was working at CBS as a commentator, he was throwing shots left and right to the Raiders. But it wasn't like he wasn't telling the truth. I'd rather hear that than like, oh man, like there's a lot of great things happening with the Raiders, and they're like they haven't won a game, and like, nah, be honest. Like if it's bad, it's bad. Like it's cool. Yeah. Like, but and I'm not saying that he probably doesn't believe that Aidan O'Connell is that, and he's saying all the right things, but all I'm saying is Raiders media is not my number one source for Raiders information. Like I look at it real quick and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's nice, and just keep it pushing. Like I'm not got the truth. I got to read between the lines, and sometimes it's too much. It's just too much to read into, man. It's like I don't know. It's just that's my opinion. Old school says, you guys notice every time we feel comfortable about what we think they're gonna do, exactly. That's the Raiders. That's the Raiders, man. That's the Raiders,
for sure. Nah, for sure.
That is the Raiders. Old school says, I wish Gannon was part of the QB development. Hey, you know what? There was talk, I remember, with when John Gruden was a coach and him possibly coming on the coaching staff. And I think Gannon spoke to this too. And this is one of the things I did watch. I did watch like a Gannon talk to the Raiders media about his time with the Raiders. And one of the things that he did say was like, there was a time where he thought about becoming a coach. And I think John Gruden, offered him a role possibly to be that. He just obviously was focused on his family and stuff like that, which, you got to respect.
Yeah. Rich Gannon couldn't be no coach, bro. Like Rich Gannon would destroy Aidan O'Connell. Like imagine, like, can you imagine Rich Gannon like meeting Aidan O'Connell after Aidan O'Connell like falls backwards and tries to throw a pass in the air, Like imagine that conversation.
Yeah. No, the conversation they had, man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that. Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Man, we all on the same page, man. Everybody that watches, man, we all on the same page, man. We don't want Raiders media. Y'all here because Raiders media ain't really telling y'all the truth, man. They giving you lies. They just lying to y'all, man. Sometimes they got some stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I like you know what I like about Raiders media when they have the behind the shield and they'll show like sound bites during the game. You hear the players. I like that. You know what I mean? Because there's a little some real stuff that they keep. They show during the game. Like I like that. But as far as some of the commentary, it's just like, man. You know what I mean? If they say anything bad, they're gonna get fired. Like they can't say anything bad about the team. Yeah. If you think about it. I mean, I'm surprised Rich Gannon, like, remember we made some comments when Rich Gannon was on Lombardi going in. I'm like, man, hey, does he still work for the Raiders? I was asking that. But I don't know. He's probably good friends with Mark, so I'm sure like they're cool.
I'm sure he's good friends with Mark.
But that's look, that's his take on another platform, and he's working with he's still working with the Raiders. I'm like, man, that says a lot, man. I think he's tapped in with the team too.
I mean, I think it's a situation where when you work for that network, like you see it here. Like if we say something critical, or if we don't agree with it, oh man, you guys are haters.
Right.
Like I'm the biggest. I'm the biggest hater on Raiders YouTube, according to some people. I'm just a hater. I just hate everything. I like nothing about the Raiders. I just hate everything they do. So if you're critical, you're just a hater. So I think they just that's fan service over there. But my guy JJ,
Man. Salute, man. We got to give him a round of applause, man. Salute to my guy, man. I appreciate that, man. Hey, Joey, man. I switched to my account, by the way, so you don't have to see my leagues.
Hey, my guy. My guy. Hey, man, you're a gentleman in the Scotland for that one.
But my question is, Joey, man, like, what do you do on the CJ account?
What do you do with that? I don't even want to know, bro. I don't even want to click this man's subscriptions. Click this man's. He probably got a wild ass playlist on that.
Hey, Joey, man. Hey, man, my guy, Joey, man. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Hey, bro. You're not here to judge, man. You're not here to judge, brother.
Man, Frank in the building from beautiful Sicily, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. We got to give you a Raiders salute, man. My guy, man. Hey, hashtag Severe is a hater. Hey, Chris, man. Hey.
If we try to blow that hashtag up, Severe is a hater and hashtag SS.
Old school says, what's crazy, Severe, is Brock still almost caught that pass, but old boy was holding him. Yeah. That's crazy. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, no, he probably would have. I mean, dude, he had dude beat. Aidan was supposed to throw a fade. That's the thing. He was supposed to throw a fade, and dude held him. And then he just threw a punt. He was supposed to throw a fade and threw a punt.
Smoke, you hilarious. J Money, you only hate on AOC.
See? Like, bro, I don't gotta hate on AOC, bro. All I gotta do is say watch him play, and then that takes care of itself.
I mean, man, you're not. No one's gonna bet their money on AOC or Minshew or Ritter. It don't matter. You might favor AOC over Minshew, but it's like, do you like trash or do you like manure? Like, do you like
exactly like AOC is bad. Like people say, oh man, AOC the best game of AOC's career. He scored 17 points and he lost. Like it's the best Annual Connors ever looked. He scored 17 and lost.
Well, I guess, hey, you know what? Since we talking about AOC and we just watch the clip of Rich Gannon talk about AOC and coming back to the team, that's a good segue to what's real, what's not. And let's actually start with the first what's real, what's not, man. So since we're talking about him, this is going to be the first statement. So if you're joining us, you don't know what's real, what's not, I'm going to say a statement. Y'all just react to it if it's real or not. And the first statement goes, the Raiders would have a better record if Aidan O'Connell had been named the starter prior to week 1. The Raiders would have a better record if AOC had been named the starter prior to week 1. Is that real or is that not? Let me know. No. I mean, probably worse. There's a good chance it might be worse. Just because the offensive line, too.
Yeah.
You got to keep in mind. And someone made a good point. And I think, I don't know if Luke Getsy was a good fit for AOC, too. I think Getsy, even from his comments over the offseason, he likes mobility in a QB. A lot of OCs do these days, but I think especially Luke Getsy, because you got to remember, Luke Getsy wasn't part of the coaching staff that drafted Aidan O'Connell. So, it is what it is. But I think that's not real for sure. Not real. Definitely not real. Okay. Austin says real, but not maybe by 1 or 2 games.
No.
One more game.
No. One more. Oh no, it was one more game. Nah.
Smoke
said he would have won one more game. Oh no, definitely not. Nah, man. We probably have the same record. He would have lost. He would have lost the. So I'm saying not real. He would have lost the Ravens game for sure. He would have definitely lost the Ravens game. He would have probably been hurt This dude got hurt getting pushed on the ground. He got pushed on the ground and had to miss the rest of. Bro, you're an NFL player. It got pushed on the ground and they're like, yo, bro, his season's done. Season over. Get him out of here. And he has diarrhea. Get him out.
Hold on, man. Special request.
Hell no. To the no.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. This dude had diarrhea and they was like, yo, bro, he's never gonna be the same again. No, bro. We lose the Ravens game for sure. We might win the Broncos game. But I can't even say that, bro, because he was people like, oh man, the reason we lost the Broncos game is because Minshew threw that pick 6. The Aidan O'Connell got into that same game later on and damn near threw the exact same interception. And in this game, this last game against the Bucs, he damn near threw the exact same interception. Bro, he's not good. He's not good. People looked at the Chiefs game and thought it was something different. Remember through the first 5-6 weeks of the 4 or 5 weeks of the season, when Gardner Minshew was leading the league in passing and completion percentage and completions. Remember that? So it's like,
come on, man, y'all. See, what y'all not understand is that I don't think AOC was I don't think Getsy was a fan of AOC because he, like I said, he liked mobility in his QB, and on top of that, y'all forgetting about how the offensive line played early in the season.
Bro,
AOC would have got destroyed. He would have got destroyed, and on top of that too, the reason why the offense looks a little bit better. You know what I mean? Looks a little bit better. We're moving the football, but we know obviously it's not spectacular. It's because we're running the ball better.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying that AOC would have been better with no run game?
With Andre James, with Colton Miller not at 100%, without Michael Mayer.
Come on.
Bro. It would have been AOC would have been hurt 5 times. Bro. He would have been hurt 5 times. We'd have seen Gardner Minshew half the year anyway, because Aidan O'Connell would have got hurt. Every time he got pushed on the ground, Aidan O'Connell could miss the season. That's
Austin says he ain't good, but he better than Minshew. Man,
that's debatable. That's debatable.
Minshew's trash though.
How many games has Aidan O'Connell?
He's disgusting.
How many games has Aidan O'Connell won this year?
Smoke says for the record, I'm a big AOC hater. You said how many games is? How many games is?
He's had 3. He's had 3. I think he's only had 3 starts. I think he's had 3 starts, right? 3 starts.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, he's had 4 starts. He got hurt in the first. As soon as this dude starts, he gets hurt.
And he hasn't won a game too.
He hasn't won a game. No, he hasn't won a game, but he's only had like 4 starts. But as soon as he starts, he gets hurt. He started the Rams game. What happens? Gets hurt. Did he finish the Steelers game? He started the Steelers game, right? Did he finish that game?
Oh, good point. We would lose the Browns game. Garrett would have gotten 4 sacks for sure. Yeah, AOC ain't gonna be running away from like a good pass rush. Like, come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and Minshew actually had some he actually made some plays in that game with his feet too. So yeah, bro. We lost. Yeah, for sure.
Joy as a backup, I'm not mad at it, but he's still replaceable. If we're being nice, he's replaceable.
Yeah.
He's replaceable. Because think about it this way. Think about it this way. What do they always say that the most important position on a football team outside of QB is the backup quarterback? So if you got a loaded team, right, and you got Super Bowl aspirations, the team is gearing to make a deep playoff run, and your backup quarterback is AOC. Ugh, I don't know, man. I don't know if that would be the right answer. But he's gonna come back next season. He's gonna compete, and we'll see. Let's see if that coaching staff is gonna be a big fan of his game. Luke Getsy wasn't. I'll tell you that.
But look though, this dude AOC has made 4 starts. He's made 4 starts, and 2 of them he didn't finish the game. 2, bro, half your starts you didn't finish. What are you people talking about? Come on, man. Bro, you play tackle football.
He says, I remember the episode Severe went off. I just remember with the running start and still getting the ball in the end zone. Hey, he did get a rushing touchdown though. AOC did get a rushing touchdown. Hey, AOC, he trying to prove doubters wrong, man. He got his first rushing first down. His first rushing touchdown.
Well, what happened at the end of that play, Pharaoh?
He landed on his knees. Yeah, he landed on his knee like a robot. Like, it was hella fun. It was hella goofy.
Bro, even on that play, right? Even the play. Remember the play last week? I think he got called back because the holding call. But when he ran against the Chiefs, if you look at that play, halfway through the run, he damn near stumbles and falls forward. Bro, how unathletic do you have to be to run and almost fall forward? Dog, don't I'm trying not to clown on this dude, man, but you guys just be bro. There's just AOC runs like Kamala. AOC runs the football like Kamala Harris runs for president. It's just
damn. Telesco says, okay, Myra says Telesco better work on depth as well. Depth F- this year. Man, that's always been an issue for Telesco being a GM, to be honest with you. Since he's been a GM with the Chargers, that depth has always been an issue. So hopefully, man, it gets better. Hopefully, maybe Champ Kelly can help him with that, man, especially in the later rounds, because that's usually where a lot of the depth gets made, right? Let's see. Excuse my we got trolls in here. Hate is crazy. He do look goofy though. Protected Shield says you want your backup to have the same skill set as your starter. If we get Cam or Shedeur, we need someone who has similar style.
I think that kind of goes to our next one.
Yeah,
I think that goes to our next.
So let's go segue to the next. What's real, what's not? If you want to go ahead and read that out. I don't know if you have it in front of you. If not, I can pull it up.
Yeah, I have it in front of me. So I think this is the statement. The Raiders will keep Aidan on the roster. And speaking of, and this kind of goes back to what Gruden was saying. He wants them to keep him as a backup. But the Raiders will keep Aidan on the roster no matter what they do in the draft at QB. Is that real or is that not? We already know what Chris thinks. But
yeah, everybody rolling right now.
But yeah, I'm gonna go not especially if AP is gone. If AP is gone, bro, the next person gonna come in. I think AP probably kept Aidan around because yo, bro, you helped me get the job, So I'll keep you on the roster. I ain't gonna start you though, but you can be on the roster. But the next course gonna come in like, bro, I ain't keeping this dude. Like this dude got hurt getting pushed in the back. Like, I'm not about to keep you on the team. Like, so and to Chris's point, you want to have a backup QB that has a similar skill set to your starter. And AP, I mean, obviously Aidan O'Connell he has a very different skill set than either Shedeur or Cam. So, I think we'll go after a different quarterback. I can see like a Jacoby Brissett. I can see Jameis or Jacoby Brissett, a guy in that mold, like, an older quarterback still can, if you need him to come in and win a game, he can come in and win you a game. Great locker room guy, good teammate, a guy like that. Aidan, maybe if they keep 3 quarterbacks, I can see Aidan maybe being the third string guy possibly, but I don't see him being a backup. They'll probably move on from him. Give him a chance to catch on somewhere else.
Now that's a great point by Chris. Where he says the backup QB is usually similar to the skill set of the starting QB, and if we're gonna draft a QB, AOC is definitely not gonna be. His game is definitely not gonna match it, but we'll see. I think it's tough, bro, because right now, like, we don't even know if AP's coming back next year. We don't know who the offensive coordinator is gonna be. There's so much that we don't know, but look, AOC, if he comes back to play next Monday and to finish out the season, we'll see. I mean, if he plays as well as he did with the Chiefs, then yeah. But if he continues to play like he did, for example, like this last game, like, I mean, you can probably almost guarantee that I don't even think he's going to come back next year, or he's not going to make the team, because it's going to be tough for him to stay on the roster. Because teams now, they keep 2 QBs, and then the third QB is going to be on the practice squad, right? Is that how it goes, or do they keep three on the roster?
They have to, so say one more time.
Usually teams they keep 2 QBs on the roster, and then there's a third QB on the practice squad. And I think there's a rule, emergency QB rule too.
So that's different. So if you're gonna have a guy be your emergency QB, he has to be on the active roster, and he just doesn't count, because I think you get 48 players active on game day, but your emergency QB doesn't count against that 48. So if he's on the active roster, you can carry 49, right? But he has to be on the 53. But yeah, man, I just don't see. I put it like this, like let's say if the Raiders was like, look, Aidan, if you can, we'll give you a running start. If you can throw the ball from the 50-yard line and reach the end zone, we'll keep you on the roster. Before the ball reaches halfway, they cutting him because they see it's not gonna make it. They're stopping at the 5. So I don't see them bringing him back, man. I don't see them bringing him back.
Brandon says, I'm getting uncomfortable with the Brady has and Deion is trying to get. Something about this just strange to me.
With the power, with the power, probably with the power or influence Brady has, and Deion is trying to get the power that they have, and Deion is trying to get. Yeah, I could feel him on that, but I mean, everybody's been complaining about Mark Davis, so you can't start complaining about Mark Davis and him not knowing football, and then we bring in a guy like Tom Brady, and I don't like the power he has. Like, you gotta.
But what's the success rate though, man? What is the success rate that a former player just comes in and just he's a top, football evaluator and is executive and running. He's a guy that knows how to franchise. Like, some of these guys, like, they've been in the building. They know how a team is run. They know how to look ahead and make moves based off that.
It's been a mixed bag. Ozzie Newsome's a former player. John Lynch, former player. John Elway won the Super Bowl, former player. Like, it's a mid. And a lot of these guys are probably former players, like Jim.
But they worked their way up. Not to cut you off, but they worked their way up, right?
No, John Lynch went straight to being a GM, I want to say. I think same way with Elway. I think he
Oh
went
yeah,
straight to
John Lynch was a commentator. He was a commentator, and then he had an interview with Kyle Shanahan, and the rest is history. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think the same way with Elway, and I think this. I don't know about Ozzy's been around for a while, so I'm not sure about Ozzie Newsome. He's been around for a while.
Elway mixed bag though. Elway is kind of like I don't know about that one.
He got a Super Bowl. It's mixed bag or you want to. He got a ring.
He got the ring. He got Peyton Manning. I'll give him that.
He was the reason Peyton went there.
Yeah,
it wasn't no John Elway, no Peyton, no Peyton Manning. So
true. That's true. I don't Ozzie Newsome's role. I mean, did he? I don't know what his situation.
I don't know if he worked his way up, but he's a former player.
Yeah, man. I hope if Brady could put the same. It's gonna be interesting because Brady's gonna be a commentator. So it's not like he's going to be 100% fully invested in being the owner of the Raiders. He's a commentator.
But know what that's going to be like? Like, no, not to take it to politics, but how like Trump had divested from all of his businesses when he became president. Like, I'm not involved in my businesses at all. Like, bro, come on, bro. Everybody knows you're still running your businesses. Like, we're not stupid, but it's that same situation. Like, oh, but can you prove it?
Right.
Like, can you prove that I'm running my businesses? You can't. So, are they going to be able to prove that Tom Brady is not the guy that's advising Mark Davis when he's at these WNBA games or when he's sitting in these luxury boxes talking about the team? Or when he's sitting on these owner meetings or these,
bro, that's
of course he is.
That's what I'm saying, bro. John Elway, he was disgusting. Because look. But I'll give you this. What your point is that he was able to bring Peyton Manning into the building, and then from there, like, was able to get a ring. But
he drafted Von Miller.
Yeah. But John Lynch was successful though. Facts. That's true. We'll see, man. We'll see. Brady, arguably the greatest QB of all time. Like, we'll see if he can repeat that success as a minor. It's because we could call him an owner, but he only owns like what 5% of the team, but his influence on a team could probably be like. Yeah. Shit, damn near 100%. Because I think the way Mark hugged Tom Brady was like, bro, anything you say, I'm gonna make sure it gets done.
Man,
so it's gonna be interesting.
Mark Davis hugged Tom Brady like he was Cardi B and he was Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Steve Kerr.
Yeah, that's another guy.
As far as like basketball, like you're talking about like no experience and just hopping in, like I remember that too.
Pat Riley. I mean, if you want to take it back, Pat Riley. Pat Riley was a commentator. I think he spent a year as an assistant coach and he took over as head coach.
Facts. After that, he picked that one QB that was trash in the first round.
Brock Osweiler.
Not that was bad, but there was another QB. It was Paxton Lynch. Did he even ever play after the Broncos? Did he even play for a team? Like
he went somewhere else. I can't remember. That was a whole bunch of trash ass QBs. It was a whole bunch. Not.
But like a quarterback that you would think know how to evaluate that position because he played it for so long and been successful. Like he had a lot of misses, especially. Like really bad misses. He gave a big contract to Osweiler, and then he also drafted Paxton Lynch in the first round, and that was terrible. Like he wasn't even close to being good or even average.
Yeah.
So it wasn't perfect. But yeah, he did get Peyton Manning into the building, and the rest is history. When you have a great player at that position, it makes everything easier. Let me pray when
he had some good ones too. I think he picked Ryan Clady, who was pretty solid. Von Miller obviously was a NFL Hall of Famer, one of the GOATs. So he had some hits, but a quarterback was tough. Trying to find.
But yeah, man, hey, we appreciate everybody coming through. It's been a great show. Make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Hey, man, Severe, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you guys know what it is. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, X, basically everywhere. Just type in The Severe Raider. If I'm on there, you will find me. Every Tuesday night, the 50-50 show with my guy, Pharaoh. Use generally Tuesday afternoon with my guys, Chris from Over at Protect the Shield. Make sure you guys head over there and sub to him. And my guy, 805 Raider, make sure you sub to him as well. Usually we do a film session Tuesdays, but it's kind of no reason to do one this week because that game was bad. And then every Friday night, we got Around the Shield, my guy, Pharaoh, and Big Mike Raider. So make sure you go over, head over and sub to Big Mike as well. My son's football season is over, so probably gonna start training, but that I'm gonna have a lot more free time. So you be looking out for some other things. So I'm probably be doing something solo dolo, trying to find a day during the week. But until a track starts up, and then I'll be right back to dad mode.
There you go. Yeah, I got to drop more content as well, man. Be on the lookout for that. Like Severe said, we do this every Tuesday evenings, nights, 50-50 show. Make sure to tune in. Make sure to hit the notification bell. If you ain't subscribed to both channels, make sure to do so. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we drop new content. And as well as check out the 50-50 shop to get your latest gear, man. Hey, man, it's getting chilly out here. Get you a hoodie, all that good stuff, man. And be on the lookout for more stuff in the store. So 5050shop.me. The link is in the chat. You know what I mean? Just check it out in the chat and also in the description as well. And then every Fridays, and I think we're gonna have a dope show this Friday. So be on the lookout for that. We might have a special guest. So tune in Around the Shield with me, Severe, and Big Mike Raider, and then hopefully we get a special guest this week. So definitely check that out. But yeah, man, hey, look, I know 4 games left. Off season already started for us. You watching the team, we already know what it is, man. Hey, look, the Raiders do it right. We get the number 1 pick, or at least have the number 2, at least top 3 pick. I'm not mad at that. Top 3 pick. And going back to Gates Media, yeah, man, I remember the Mark Jackson. That was a tough deal, and Mark Jackson never got a head coaching job, and he did a great job with the Warriors.
Yeah,
as far as developing that team, and obviously giving Curry the confidence to be the player that he was. Like, people didn't know Curry until Mark Jackson was able to kind of give him that green light, and the Raiders. I mean, not the Raiders, but the Warriors end up obviously trading away Monte Ellis that offseason before, and then Curry kind of took that and was like, hey, the rest is history. But yeah, that's basketball, which is currently going on, and which do people watch basketball these days, man? It ain't, I don't know, it's not the same. It's not, sometimes, you know what I mean? I mean, how the Lakers doing, how the Warriors doing, how some of these teams doing, man.
Warriors doing good, Lakers not doing good.
I feel like Warriors are missing a piece. I feel like they need another scoring option outside of Curry, but that's a whole different conversation. Look, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. It's been a great show. Next time you'll see us will be Friday, Around the Shield. We'll get into game picks. I don't think I did good this week, man. Oh my God! But it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's still 4 weeks left, so we'll see. Look, hey, Severe got a smirk.
My guy Steve Oriana. You know what time it is.
Man. Let
the people know.
Hold up. We got Charger fans watching us. Come on, man. Nah, it's all love, man. If you watching this, man, it's all good. Just keep it respectful. Raider Smoke, man, on the way out, man. My God, man. Appreciate you, my guy. He says, have a good night, y'all. Great show tonight. Severe, I feel you. Hard to be doing YouTube when daddy duty calls. Y'all be easy, man, for sure, man. We're going to have you on here soon, too, Smoke. Just hopefully we can get you on here soon, man. I know the schedule is crazy, but we're going to get you on. Hey, we could do it next week. I do next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this weekend is next week. We'll hit you up, Smoke. But yeah, man. Hey, any last thoughts before we get up out of here?
I think my guy Steve. I think he put it best.
Oh, what did he say? He said Pharaoh for the win. Did he say Pharaoh's gonna win it all? I think that's what he said, right?
You know what it is. You know what time it is, baby.
738. Steve, come on, man. I gotta be better. Hey, man, I'm petty, Steve. I'm not gonna forget this. Man. Man, but we up out of here, man. We'll see y'all this Friday. See you this Friday. All right. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.